let's start with you, Aries. Your year is kind of fascinating to me. We'll be going over some key themes after the analysis. And if you see me looking down, it's because I'm reading the freaking charts before me. Let's start with the Capricorn Sun ingress that took place on December 21st, 2025. And the implication, this is like Q1 through Q4, basically. Every 3 months, these solar ingresses happen into new cardinal signs. So for you, we have part of spirit right on your ascendant at the time of the Capricorn ingress. And there are multiple implications of that. Basically, long story short, where I see you coming in to 2026 is really thinking about your legacy and potentially what you have not achieved and what you want to achieve in your lifetime. And kind of feeling like, okay, this is not enough. I need to be more triumphant. And you have plenty of time to do that this year. There's so much action going on for you. You've got Sun, Moon, Mars conjunct in your 10th house at the start of this Capricorn season, which indicates being competitive, wanting to be seen in your field as a professional, as a boss. Fielding competition as well is a thing. Let's read your harmonics for this, and also just feeling like a little hemmed in and or restricted by some kind of higher circumstance that may or may not be known, a force, a legal situation like a divorce or some kind of law case or whatever legal case, something that is restricting, an illness, something that is restricting you from going as hard as you would like to. Obviously, you're an Aries, not like you're not going to go hard or whatever, but it feels like you're being held back in a way that is annoying. Let's look at your direct midpoint structures for this time period that lasts from December into mid-March until your birthday season. So you also have Sun, Venus, Mars via midpoint here. That is really about looking good. And I want to look good. I want to feel good. If you're feeling good and looking good, good for you. But this is the type of thing where the physical glow up is necessary for you to feel like you want to compete or do your thing. So get your glow on. If you need hair implants, if you need makeup, clothing, whatever, glow it up. Like it's really kind of critical. I don't think that beauty is always superficial. It really, really helps get through life. Like keep it real. So let's do that. You also have Moon conjunct Mars Pluto midpoints. Not really that strong, but it's strong enough to garner a little bit of attention. And this is really hard work. Let's see where exactly these midpoints fall. So you've got Sun conjunct Venus, Mars midpoint in the first harmonic, which is the natal chart. Basically, that's just kind of looking good for obviously yourself, of course, but also just the external world. You're showing a different face and you're flexing a little different. You've also got this Moon conjunct Mars Pluto midpoint in the 118th harmonic, 59 times 2. 59th harmonic is really into preservation and preserving a legacy. So again, you're coming into 2026 with these legacy issues, like these long-term goals, something that you may have been working on for I don't know how many years, and how it's going to show up and end up the whole arc of life of this legacy thing by the time you die. 59 times 2, the times 2 is with others. So I think this is really considering different contracts, different collaborations where that can get you in the door in terms of where you're trying to go with the project that you're up to. Let's move on to your birthday season, which is kind of different a little bit. I mean, obviously it's majorly different. It's whole new energy. You are still in this learning curve situation that is a slower pace than most Aries want to go. You're a Mars ruled sign, and that's action. Nobody's trying to chill out or whatever. If you're an Aries, you're trying to get it now, right? Obviously, there are variations in expression because astrology isn't just based on zodiac signs. Harmonics are a huge, huge thing. And if you're a high seventh harmonic and an Aries, you might not be that aggro, right? You might be really, really actually chill and focused and quiet. So let's not just do generalizations here. I'm just saying, in general, Mars likes to move. That's your ruling planet. That's what it does. So why I'm saying you're slowed down a little bit is you've got at the start of Aries season 2026, March 20th, 2026, you've got Mercury conjunct Mars lunar north node in your 12th house. And so this whole 12th house thing, 12th house is a house of spiritual or universal forces that none of us can escape. For example, gravity is the 12th house. We are all forced to obey to gravity. And other things that are the 12th house, the universe, the solar system, we all share it. We're all bound by the forces in the universe. Human level, 12th house is where people are interned, ideally for their own good, for the betterment of them because they can't help themselves. So that is hospitals, schools, like put kids in school so they don't run around or whatever, jails. And in reality, a lot of these places can be really, really jacked up, like jails, for example. But the consciousness around 12th house issues is they can't help themselves. We got to lock them up. Let's help them. Anyway, long story short, that learning curve thing, that's definitely going to be Mercury Mars right there. And so it's really as you are entering with this theme of legacy and really getting your ish out there and putting something out for posterity so that it lives on beyond you and your life, you have this learning curve. It's like, well, how the fuck do I do that? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like clear exactly how to do that. And so that I think can be maddening. And also, what the part of spirit definitely forces in this situation, if you will, is utilizing skills and approaches that is not part of your regular toolbox. So it's out of the box. It's something that you've not thought of before. You've also got this huge stellium of planets in your natural first house. We've got Sun, obviously. This is your birthday season. Happy birthday. We've got Sun, Moon, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron all here. And so basically, this is also a season of health and needing to regulate your whole system. I don't see you going hard. Saturn, Neptune doesn't go hard. And I think that is part of the learning curve for you as an individual, Aries, is actually finding purpose and stillness and reflection. And just the pacing is just so totally different. It's not hardcore yet. So once Mars Uranus transits kick in the middle and the latter part of the year, you're likely to be going hard. That is not the momentum or the energy from December all the way through June. It's very much more still inward focused on the gravity, the implications, the complexity of your long-term visions and goals and what you want your legacy to be for your entire life. Like it's really, really deep, right? So meditation, spiritual ritual, naturalism, not even a thing, right? But herbalism, uh, no preservatives, eating clean, eating well when possible, and just health. Health as physical health, like regulating your actual body is really critical at these times. And it'll help with everything. Let's look at your natal direct midpoint structures in this era. There's a lot going on. So this is where life is dichotomous, and there are many different things and themes going on. One thing that sticks out so quickly is the moon conjunct Mars Uranus midpoint, 44-minute orb. That is so competitive. And so you have this reflection, oh my God, what's going on with my life situation that requires stillness and depth and health and emotional regularity, physical regularity and regulation. And then you've got moon conjunct Mars Uranus midpoint, which is off the chain. It is not regulated. It can have a quick temper. It gets fucking pissed. It doesn't have patience. It wants to destroy everybody, and not necessarily in a bad way. Destroy as in fucking win. Like I want to overcome and I want this now. So this is the dichotomous energy that you're facing. Let's look at where that I'm actually looking at it here. Moon conjunct Mars Uranus midpoint is a first harmonic midpoint. So it's really about like competition with other people. It's you may not be as jealous as I am about like everyone. But it's wanting to be at the level of your competitors, crushing your competitors, just like wanting to succeed. And let's keep going. Mars is pretty active in this solar season that lasts from March through June. So you've got Mars also conjunct Moon Pluto midpoint, which is this whole that's a continuation of the theme for your 2026, which is hard, concentrated work. Why I keep saying hard work because Mars Pluto is involved. This is not an overnight success type of thing. This is putting in 12 hours a day over several months, then crashing after the project is done, and or going through your entire back catalog of whatever. It's just harder work than usual to get all of this stuff done. You've also on the Neptune side here, you've got Neptune conjunct Moon, Mars midpoint, 35-minute orb, and Neptune conjunct Venus, Mars midpoint, 53-minute orb, which is actually kind of beautiful. They're a little bit different. This speaks to sensitivity. So this is empathic sensitivity just in general. This is kind of like a more sweet energy, if you will. This is a more loving, romantic kind of energy, romantic as in literal romance, and romantic in terms of ideology, goals, and dreams and visions for your life. That even though there's like this impatience going on with Moon, Mars, Uranus, there's still this like really enriching and beautiful reverie that powers and drives your state of being, your goals, and how you approach them. And I feel like if you get frustrated with, this competitive edge situation, that is really a thing for you, particularly from Aries season, I would ask you to lean in to these more idealistic energies to get you through the impatience and stuff, and these more romantic energies. I'm talking about like super ideal romance, like your dream person just walking in, and also your dream collaborator. Pay attention to dreams and hopes and visions in a way that propels you, when events might be going a little too slow. This is like a deep year for Aries. This is like depth Aries year. You've also still got that Sun conjunct Venus, Mars, which is interesting. If they're in different signs, but it's still the same thing. Fix up, look sharp, looking and feeling your best. So, like the beautification process for Aries, huge this year, and so is the health process in this birthday era. You've also got Saturn conjunct Moon Mars midpoint in the 109th harmonic, which is a prime. And that Neptune conjunct Moon Mars situation is going to be in your 20th harmonic. Let me show you what I'm looking at just in case you're curious. 20th harmonic, 5 times 4. And basically how I would read this for you is basically just getting ideas out of nowhere. Just getting like ideas and visions out of nowhere. It's kind of like being trapped in a cloud or something, some kind of idealistic cloud that just kind of. And also this is a very specific type of genius. It's the genius of intangibles. And so picking up on the mood of things, lighting, the colors, the energy, the vibe is something that just kind of flows naturally to you. So that's a different kind of genius because it's a different kind of plug. It's like being tapped in on some kind of flow. I don't think this is not very focused. And so I think it might be harder to focus in this era for you, but that's okay. We don't always need to focus. We don't always need to be progressive in this very kind of linear fashion. Sometimes reality and life presents us with some random shit going on, right? That's like it. Life presents us with being, just being. We don't always have to be doing something or progressing on this and that. So I think that quality is also something that Aries grapples with throughout 2026. The quality of being, versus doing, and the quality of dreams and kind of allowing them to just be there and to just sit with your desires versus just fucking having them right now. Let's go to Cancer season. You're going to have Saturn Neptune as an arc for a little while. Saturn's going to be in your chart for like 2.5 years. And obviously that's like a 2028 arc, and Neptune's going to be there a little longer in Aries than that. So this is like a longer arc. This is the Saturn Neptune thing. This idea of chilling, manifesting your visions, your dreams, your goals for your whole entire life, like your whole purpose of being here is something that you grapple with for years and years. I'm so sorry. We'll have more information for you, Aries, around how the Saturn-Neptune conjunction that perfects in February really affects you. But yeah, like ultimately the advice for Saturn-Neptune is to hunker down in ritual. This is typically spiritual ritual because Saturn-Neptune is a spiritual planetary pair. And so that goes across different types of spiritual approaches. Obviously, very, very hardcore traditional, like Christian religions or more ancient religions, like Buddhism, for example. It doesn't matter, right? Like that, if you find yourself expressing in those religions, great. This can also be in other different spiritual rituals, like I have an altar here. I do altar work. Whether you're pagan and giving out seeds, I don't care what it is. There's just some kind of meditation is very, very Saturn Neptune. And so whatever the ritual calls to you, that's what you just need to anchor in to kind of center yourself. And I guess this goes for everybody, but it's very distinct for you, Aries, because it's in your first house. So it's like anchors for yourself. It's not rituals. It's not rituals for your home or your family or whatever in a different house. It's for you. It's in your first house. So we've got Venus, Saturn, Neptune here. And via trine aspect, Venus is in Leo at the time that the sun enters Cancer on June 21st, 2026. And that has interesting implications because Venus Neptune is very, very romantic romance. Like, what is romantic romance? It is the type of romance that you dream of. It is fairy tale. So it's Venus Neptune with Venus Saturn, which is not that kind of romance. Venus Saturn, I wouldn't say, the word that's coming to mind is utilitarian, but it's not utilitarian. Um, it's just more like natural, right? Than a Venus Neptune, which is like totally idealized Prince Charming, Princess Charming, Prince Prince X Charming. If you're non-binary, whomever, it's just like the things you dream of versus the things and the partnerships that you have and live reality. Another way to put this is like Venus Neptune is very like gowns and regalia and diamonds and like beautiful things and the perfect moment. Venus Saturn is very like much like pooping at your partner's house and spraying things, and or Venus, it gets your hands dirty. It's no makeup. It is not glamorous at all. And so I feel that, again, romance is such a big theme for you. And finding your ideal partner that fits with a natural rhythm of you and also fulfills your greatest dreams is very, very possible for you. That's coming from the summer months in the northern hemisphere in July, or obviously that is winter in the southern hemisphere. So anyway, love and romance, you cannot escape this year, which is really, really cool in a way. And I feel that potentially, not always, I think I was gonna say I feel that this could feel like a soulmate romance, but I don't really think that that's the case. I feel like what is so stand out about this romance is that it just feels so fucking natural and it's just so fucking beautiful. So it's like just feeling it out here in this moment. I think that the naturalness and the beauty and the idealization is something to embrace. But I think because it's so dope, depending on who you are, it could also be off-putting. You've got Mars in your second house also. So you're going to be focusing on money. This is where the action starts. Even though they're in different signs right now, Mars and Uranus are still conjunct. And so really like the action happens from June for you. The end of June is when Aries, 10 toes down, we out, we're going. So use the first half of 2026 to really collect your thoughts, get your health together, really think about the arc of your life and your projects and what you want to do on this planet. Let's look at your midpoints and see where they fall in harmonics for Cancer season. You've got the Sun conjunct Venus Mars is really funny as like a theme for 2026 for you. Really you flexing at your most beautiful continues to be a theme for you. You've also got Mercury conjunct Moon Mars midpoint 21-minute orb, and you've got Saturn conjunct Mars lunar north node 25-minute orb. Moon Mercury Mars is I would say breaking down the psychology. Moon Mercury is all about psychology. It's your individual psychology. Why I'm saying competitors is because it's Moon Mars, and Moon Mars just wants to compete. Moon Mars is a buzz. It wants to there's winners and losers, right? And it's trying to win. Period. Then we have Mercury Mars, and Mercury Mars is very much about learning. And so, intellectual, what are other people thinking? I think that either that is something that you're personally focused on, and or something that just happens. Like, damn, like on a telepathic level, like you really, really get depth psychology, what thoughts are running yourself and your competitors and in competition. So if you feel like you've been lacking in any regard, I feel like you're going to be looking at yourself differently in terms of how you put yourself out there. So let's talk about the Saturn conjunct Mars lunar north node midpoint, 25-minute orb. Mars Saturn is really like doing chores, tedium, exactitude, in terms of just doing what you need to effing do. And so I think that there's like a higher level of responsibility that you're taking on, particularly from the summer, but I think throughout the course of 2026, you're really like stepping up into a new level of responsibility and leadership and doing all the boring shit that you have to do to achieve this and to progress in your life in this way. Let's check out where that these midpoints might fall. Unfortunately, we can't see lunar north node midpoints in this software, but we can see the Mercury conjunct Moon Mars midpoint, 21-minute orb in the sixth harmonic 3 times 2. And times 2 simply means with others. The third harmonic is the trine, and the trines aren't chill. Definitely not in harmonic species, because you have no control over the flow of the 3. And so this is like, I think this is a good era for really understanding your competitors, where they're going, what they're saying, and not just competitors, but anybody that you engage with in life. You get inside their head and vice versa. So, and I think that the information is going to be valuable. I want to look at the harmonic aspect grid for this solar season. That's like end of June to end of September. And just see what's going on with Mars. You've also got Mars Jupiter 17th harmonic, that's really strong, and then Mars Pluto 23rd harmonic, that's strong. So Mars Jupiter 17th harmonic, it typically speaks to therapy, acting, and empaths. Kind of random stuff, but like literally this the whole, so let's do it one by one. So Mars Jupiter just in general is a very favorable planetary pair in that it finds solutions to all problems. There is no impediment. I really think that this is an ameliorating season for you, where you're doing major healing and major healing in partnerships. This could be love, I don't care what partnership it is, love, family, business relationships, really friends, all of the partnerships where you're able to see eye to eye and find solutions. This is also a mega advance in any kind of project that you're engaged with. Summer's looking pretty fire for you, Aries. This is really, really cool. You also, in terms of empaths, 17th harmonic is the empathic harmonic, and that's really as simple as picking up on other people's energies and thoughts as if they were your own and in your own body. Really that simple. And so there's more of that. Again, that whole like telepathy thing, that empath telepathy thing, big for you. And so it's kind of more a social season in the summer for you. Mars Pluto is 23rd harmonic here. Obviously, you're just going to still be working hard. That's another theme of 2026 for you, Aries. Hard work, legacy, love and romance, social partnerships, winning, patience. I'm laughing because I'm a high Mars. I don't have patience. So, okay. I'm not Aries, but I'm very Martian. So as we enter the close of the year with Libra solar season, we've got Mars in your fourth house. And Mars in your fourth house is what, like, exhausted, right? I feel like you're going to be exhausted. But there's still a lot of demands on you. There's a lot of people waiting on you, if you will. And you just have a lot of obligations to fulfill, right? You're not free from fulfilling this stuff, even if you'd like to just crash out and go to sleep like immediately. There are contracts to fulfill, there are things for you to do, and the pressure is on. And so, again, I feel that all of these things that you've been developing, these new habits, these healthy habits, these rituals that you've been performing throughout the year is what to rely on in this era. I want to get some more information though. Let's look at the midpoints. So you've also got Uranus conjunct Mars Saturn midpoint, 1 minute, 1 degree, 3-minute orb, which is like really jarring. You've also got Venus opposite Moon Mars midpoint, 14-minute orb, which is really beautiful energy. And you've got lunar north node opposing your Sun Mars midpoint. Let me just locate the lunar node. Okay, so that means that you've got the lunar south node is conjunct your Sun Mars. So your social demands are super high at the end of the year. It's not necessarily something that is crazy. You know, we have the holidays at the end of the year and all that kind of stuff. But for you, your activity level is super high. This is just classic work life balance where there's so much pressure. People are relying on you so heavily. You're completely out. There's a lot of activity going on, and you just want to stay home, or you just want to get some kind of peace. There is also, because Mars is in your fourth house is family. I had some fourth house transits over the past few years that resulted in many of my family members dying. There is always the possibility of family deaths with the fourth house, or just family issues, 100%. And also property issues and home issues. So you may find yourself needing to relocate and or do something in your house with all of these grand social obligations like out there putting demands on you. Let's look at where these midpoints fall as we conclude the year. So you've got Venus opposing Moon Mars midpoint, 29th harmonic, which is really awesome. Like, that indicates that there are so many people that you can rely on as well, who want to help you and want to help you get through this chapter. 29th harmonic is improving through adoption of perspectives outside of those you were raised with. So it's very like egalitarian. It is very diplomatic is the word. And so diplomacy is happening. There's a lot of healing in your relationships this year. It's really, really beautiful. And you're capping the year off with that relational intimacy, that love, and that nurturing that I would suggest every human needs and wants. But for you, it's really about kind of solving problems that we can't take care of ourselves and finding the support you need for your most intimate problems. Some of the things that you would never want to share in public, and needing to get through a chapter, you have the support, so use it.